As a generation of Africans, we aren't doing sufficient to measurably improve on the quality of life of people. And so we stand back and weep about talent that leaves the continent. And we wait for the European summer to count the bodies of strong, brave, bright Africans drowning in the Mediterranean. And the reason they're so desperate to get out is because we aren't creating conditions for people to stay and flourish.
One of the challenges which we have, in my view, in managing our development on the African continent is a deficit of engagement between what someone once called the philosophy of thought and philosophy of action. Engagements between policymakers and intellectuals.
If we are concerned with changing lives and then actually improving the lot of Africa, we have to engage critically, but not necessarily pessimistically.
I think it's very important. This is the role that the universities are to play in terms of spreading new ideas, in terms of building bridges with other people around the world, and seeing how we together can work in terms of promoting good governance in Africa.
In the work that I'm doing, which is broadly, I suppose, in the governance sphere, but most particularly in anti-corruption work, there's a real dearth of good scholarship. And so, you know, it's very gratifying to be in the sort of company of scholars who are thinking about this kind of stuff.
The law, for me, is always an instrument of change. And I think a discussion like this with other people in the room helps me realize what exactly needs to be changed.
It's really important that South Africans accept that we are now fully part of the African discourse and all the challenges. So in the report that I was referring to that we did, the Betrayal of the Promise, we had this idea of a symbiotic relationship between the constitutional and the shadow state. And Africans have been wrestling with this concept for a very, very long time. And engaging with Africans, we become much wiser.
Once again, it feels that it's at a turning point, a time of great potential and opportunity. And that demands new kinds of thinking if those opportunities are to be seized.
We're a youthful continent, so it's useful for us to have an intergenerational exchange where the voice of ambition and adventure is counterpoised with the voice of experience and, shall I say, reasoned moderation.
There's a statement that came through about if you don't do it, no one will do it. So I'm most definitely convinced that a lot of us, myself in particular, I'm going to pick out some of the things that I can do and start where I am, do what I can, and probably sustain the endeavor.
There is hope. I think I'm going to leave this meeting with so much hope that maybe if we strategically engage our systems and our state, we might get that utopian society which we all desire.